If you're anything like me, then Looney Tunes made up a giant part of your childhood. I distinctly remember sitting in front of the television at an age of 5 early on a Saturday morning, watching the classic reruns of this cartoon with my family. As a staple IP, the zany characters of Looney Tunes and their antics have made up the bulk of many people's childhoods, and they continue to delight into today's pop culture. However, the interesting factor when considering Looney Tunes and its impact on modern day society is the fact that these characters haven't been featured in many new motion picture properties. Sure, they've garnered television shows on cable networks, and the sequel to Space Jam was a surefire appearance. Yet it also seems like just as easily people have begun to forget about these characters. This can also be said for Warner Brothers, the studio who holds the rights to these classic characters. On November 9th, 2023, Warner Brothers announced that they would be shelving the then completed film Coyote vs. Acme, which featured many characters in this classic franchise, in favor of a tax write-off. This caused an outrage among the film community, as so many felt that a decision such as this indicated a drastic shift in etiquette, where now film studios could shelve entirely finished products that so many people worked hard on in favor of monetary return. Many felt that this specific film, entitled The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, would fall into the same trap as well. Originally destined for release on HBO Max, Warner Brothers decided to ultimately shop it around to other distributors until it finally found a home with the independent label Ketchup Entertainment. That's why this film technically isn't a Warner Brothers film, which explains the lackluster marketing thus far. Almost no one knows that this movie is currently released in theaters, which is absolutely wild. At my screening of the film last night at my local movie theater, I was one of 3 people in attendance in an otherwise completely empty auditorium. That kind of seals the deal. Such a lack of attendance combined with the shopping around of the movie might signal that a film be lackluster in quality and therefore not worth the audience's time. However, in a unique twist, this film is actually great. It makes no sense to me why Warner Brothers would have had zero faith in this film in the first place, as a movie this creative, fresh, and wholly original usually isn't made within the modern day studio landscape in this day and age. Following the classic characters of Daffy Duck and Porky Pig as they try to unravel an alien mind control plot hidden inside the launch of a chewing gum brand, the movie is a blatant parody of the classic 50s science fiction films while also retaining that signature charm that made Looney Tunes work in the first place. One of the best things about this film is how it doesn't try to change who these characters or their motives are in order to adapt to the times. Instead, this is very much old school Looney Tunes, simply placed inside a 21st century landscape, which allows the humor to cut insanely deep. The satirical angle on older science fiction films is blended with a sharp and biting look at our modern day culture, delivered in only the way a Looney Tunes character could, touching on everything from influencer culture to angry studio executives, which feels particularly harsh and biting considering the circumstances surrounding these films. It's so refreshing to see this zany and, dare I say, loony style of humor shine within a modern day setting. And what an unhinged film this is. This is a blatantly angry movie from the first frame to the last. Everything about this is operating on a level that doesn't seem entirely possible. It's as if the filmmakers cranked everything in terms of the setting up to an 11. The animation is genuinely hyper-realized and stylized, and the different character designs complement a wide range of facial expressions that feel borderline insane at times. I mean, you can tell that a hardworking team of animators and artists worked on every single part of this, which makes it all the more important that a film like this saw the light of day at the end of the day. And it's such a relief that something like this wasn't buried to die under the studio system. As mentioned, the humor is also biting, yet also leans into that classic slapstick blend of Looney Tunes humor that packs a punch. In my crowd at my screening, I was surprised to find that everybody in attendance laughed at multiple parts of this movie, myself included. I couldn't help it. There's something about this style of humor that just works and remains timeless as always, and it's such a great thing to see it welcome back to theaters in this way. The film's plot is consistently engaging, featuring multiple different subversions of expectations that guide the audience on a consistently enthralling journey. And the fourth wall breaks are also insanely good, yet also feel natural in the context of the story. Perhaps the best thing about this film, however, and the thing that makes it entirely worth a watch, is the fact that this is just pure and unbridled fun in cinematic form. It's fresh, it's creative, and it's stylistically innovative. Now, I know this isn't playing in every single theater nationwide due to Ketchup Entertainment's release strategy, and it might have flown under your radar due to lackluster marketing at this point, but if this movie is playing in a theater near you, do not hesitate to go see it immediately. The Day the Earth Blew Up is the kind of fun movie that was meant to be seen with a crowd. If you're a fan of Looney Tunes and that older style of Looney Tunes, this is a blatant love letter that updates the setting, but never changes the sensibility that makes this property work so well. The fact that a film this fun and original might have never seen the light of day is actually depressing, and it further proves the point that Warner Brothers handled the Coyote vs. Acme situation in one of the worst ways imaginable. They still need to release that movie. Think about it like this. If a studio is not willing to release a film with one of the most famous and beloved IPs, what chance does any semblance of independent film have in a marketplace like this? I am so glad that The Day the Earth Blew Up has found a home in theaters, and it wholeheartedly deserves to be watched. If not, just to support the talented cast and crew that poured every ounce of love and affection into this film, and for the enthralling, engaging, and above all, hilarious plot and humor on display here. It might not be anything revolutionary within the animated sphere, and does fall into quite self-indulgent territory at times, times, but the overall charm cannot be ignored in the slightest. Like all the best Saturday morning cartoons do, this is a film that will transport you back to a time and place of childlike wonder, and leave you wanting more by the time the credits roll. It's just a cinematic blast through and through. That's why I'm giving The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, a 4 out of 5 stars. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this review on my channel. If you're new around here and you like the content you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, like the video, and turn on push notifications. Also, leave comment suggestions down below for future video, essay, and review topics. With that being said, until next time, this is Mitchell signing off. Peace out.